Hey folks, Jayborino here, welcome back. I said I was going to make a follow-up to my first vlog, which was getting started with YouTube and setting some expectations for yourself. If this is a type of format that you like, though, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or leave a comment with some suggestions. I did get some recommendations in the first video of some alternate topics. I was going to make these 2 or 3 YouTube videos just because it's something that interested me, but I'll continue if folks are also interested, so let me know. And it's funny that I'm fishing for likes. That's not normal, but again, I actually just want to understand if people enjoy this or not, because we're about to talk about YouTube analytics. So let's dive right into it. I want to talk about what certain analytics mean, how some can be extremely misleading, some can be a little misleading, and which ones are behind the scenes that actually are extremely important. And I'd like to think that this isn't just about YouTube. This is about anything that involves community engagement. So what actually measures community engagement to the point where it shows that people want to actually stay and continue viewing content that you're making or content on the same platform that's in the same genre. So the most important thing to YouTube, as you can probably imagine, is that people use YouTube, stay on YouTube, come to YouTube from other places. That's all they care about. They don't care if it's you. They don't care if it's someone who's just like you. They don't care if it's someone completely different than you. But if they click to come to your video and they watch 2/3 of it and then they click something in the recommended portion on the right side that's a different channel, they don't care, but they're happy about it because that person is still on YouTube and is adding to accrued watch time. So that's the most important thing. If I were to pick one individual metric that's the most important, albeit not perfect, it would be watch time, because that just shows the amount of time people are spending on the platform. And again, that's what YouTube cares about the most. Now, how do you build upon watch time, though? That's the other thing, is sort of if someone might watch an entire video of yours and then never come back to YouTube or watch any of your other videos, right? So what measures that? Now, I'm going to take a step back because I want to dispel some misleading metrics before we get into the real meat of it. Now, subscribers, aggregate subscribers is possibly the most misleading and inaccurate statistic there is. And it's not really, it's just a number, right? How many people clicked subscribe over the period of your entire YouTube channel existing? Means virtually nothing. So to you, if you're someone who's a new subscriber, you click subscribe, that's important to you because you're going to continue getting notifications about videos that you want to see. That's great. So I'm not saying don't subscribe. You should always subscribe to people that you want to watch more of. That's your prerogative. Now, for content creators, though, an aggregate subscription number is not important because, again, it means virtually nothing. 5 years ago, someone hit subscribe on my channel. Are they still around? Probably. I mean, the odds as time passes that people that subscribed longer ago are still here is extremely small. And I recognize a lot of the commenters from so long ago. I definitely recognize the majority of them for sure, unless you're someone who's been subscribed for 4 years and has never commented. But regardless, the whole point is subscribers without anything to contextualize it means absolutely nothing. Imagine a situation where someone has one viral video, they get a lot of views on one video and a bunch of subscribers, and then now their current videos, you have 5,000 subscribers and now you're getting 50 views a video. That is a situation that exists and is very, very common, and you may notice it. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I'd recommend if you like something, regardless of how many subscribers they have, regardless of how many views they have, you should watch it. Don't let that decide whether you watch something or not. In fact, you're probably more likely to get the attention of creators if they're smaller. So don't think that I'm telling you to not watch small stuff. What I am saying, though, is that those analytics are misleading for that reason, because viral videos and gateway videos, again, can lead to weird spikes that will have rippling effects that actually mean nothing. So subscribers to views is important if you look at it in a long term, but really watch time is I think, much, much more important. So here's an example. You put up a 30-second cat video, right? It's insanely popular. You get 1 million views, and you get 1,000 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers, whatever. And then you make a 50-part Let's Play of Assassin's Creed 2. How many of those million viewers from the cat video do you think are watching your Let's Play of Assassin's Creed 2? Probably as many as if you didn't have the cat video in the first place, as I would guess. So that's, I mean, again, it's sort of just around search engine optimization and targeting your audience as opposed to just putting up stuff and expecting that people will watch it because they watch something that's not related to it at all. It makes no sense. It's a weird entitlement that I know people have. They think, hey, I had a viral video, I should be able to grow now. Make what you want. Let me be clear about that. But in terms of understanding the analytics behind it, your content needs to be at least vaguely related to each other if you expect any of those views to transfer. So how do we actually measure community engagement? How many comments you get, likes, dislikes? Those actual numbers are not actually important in terms of the algorithm, but they are indicative that you are building a community. It's nice to get a lot of comments because I like talking to people that are interested in the stuff that I'm interested in. I'm interested in learning from people that are different from myself as well. I'm interested in getting diverse viewpoints on different things, whether it's the game that I'm playing or just stuff that I'm talking about while playing, right? So that's fun for me, and it's also indicative of a community that's being built of people that will continue to watch and an increased watch time. So again, that's why likes and dislikes, indicative of that. Most people will like and dislike only if they're watching a certain percentage of what you're doing. Even if dislikes, basically it's saying, hey, I'm hate watching you. Now I will dislike it. Like, haha, the joke's on you. It's indicative of community engagement. Whether that actually factors into the YouTube algorithm, I'm fairly certain is very, very low. But again, what it's showing is that you're growing a community. So high comments and dislikes, those do matter in some way, but it's kind of vague on how it will actually factor in. The real important thing to understand is impressions and click-through rate. These metrics never used to be in the YouTube Analytic Video Manager Studio. Now you can go to the beta of the Creator Studio, and in the beta analytics, there's impressions and click-through. Now, impressions you would think of as how many times is your video advertised in any way. So if you log on YouTube and you see a Jayborino's Play video in your recommended tab, or just right at the top, that's one impression. If you are in your subscriptions tab and you see a JayborinoPlays thumbnail, that's an impression. If you see a JayborinoPlays thing on the recommended videos, if you're watching something else, that's an impression. All these are totaled up, and then however many people click on those impressions versus how many impressions were put out there is your click-through rate. So that is indicative of people clicking on your content. So that combined with watch time is actually the most important metric that I think a lot of people don't understand is, again, impressions, click-through rate, watch time. So if YouTube gives you some basic impressions because your search engine optimization with tags and your title and your description matches someone else's who's slightly larger than yours, and you get a really high click-through rate, you're going to be given more impressions. You're basically rewarded by the YouTube algorithm because you've shown that you have a high click-through rate, you're attracting more viewers. So that combined with watch time, saying people not only are clicking on your stuff, but they're staying and watching it, is exactly what YouTube wants to see. You are alluring to people and you have staying power. Those two things have typically been separate. If you can be alluring to people because you can get them to click one time, that is not important. And it's really not, unless that can translate to more watch time in some fashion. So click-through rate versus watch time together in some fashion does give you a much clearer picture on that community engagement. And I talk about community engagement just by showing if you have people that are willing to click on your content and are willing to watch it for a specific period of time, a lengthier period of time, that just shows that not only are you making good stuff that draws people in, but it makes them stay, right? And one thing that's always been misleading in the past, again, with subscribers and views, is you post on an external source, probably Reddit, at the right time of day, just in the right climate, you get a ton of views, but does that really mean anything? Does that actually mean you're getting people to stay on the platform? It's hard to say. And that's bad for the creators too, because then they don't understand how they can actually capitalize on that. Because you get a lot of views doesn't mean you can make the same thing again and you're going to get a bunch more views and subscribers. You don't know because you don't have that information on whether you have the staying power. You have the information that you got a bunch of people to click, but that really doesn't matter by itself. So again, I hope this has been informative. I just wanted to explain those two pieces, which is the clicking, but then also the longevity. And these metrics, again, click-through rate and watch time do paint that entire picture. And in the past, they haven't really been available. Watch time has been, but it used to just be views. And now imagine how easy it is to bot views So the new gatekeeping that they have in place for monetization, which is 1,000 subscribers, but also watch time, that does help paint a picture for them to decide whether you can be monetized or not. So I understand that. I don't agree with the way YouTube typically communicates. It's always extremely vague, and they have their reasons, and a lot of it comes down to the costs of storage space, but they're not going to put that out to like a public memo where they're like, hey, by the way, a bunch of you are using storage space and you're not paying for yourself to be using it because you can't monetize because advertisers think what you're making is stupid, so stop using our platform. They're not going to say that, but that's basically what the whole gatekeeper is for monetization. It's them saying you have to prove that you can meet monetization standards of our advertisers to say, and if you can't, we're basically nudging you towards not bothering in the first place. Which, again, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with, but I understand it. I think it's important to understand these things because they want fewer people making stuff that won't pay for itself because they're paying for you to host the videos. On the surface, YouTube is a video hosting platform, right? It's supposed to be free video hosting. Under the covers, though, obviously it's a business, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully I've painted that picture and it makes more sense on why they may have why they may have done that. It's not. It's more complex. It's not as simple as them saying that we're going to censor a bunch of people, right? It's a lot more complex than that, and it's about parity with advertisers and all these sorts of different things. But again, I hope this was interesting. If not, maybe I'll see you next time. I do plan on talking more about what it was like to slowly grow unexpectedly and branding my channel, how I capitalized on certain opportunities and chose not to capitalize on others. And then also a lot of the major takeaways that I've had, a lot of the things that I've learned and a lot of the fun that I've had specifically because of this hobby that I wouldn't have had the opportunity to otherwise. So I'll talk a little bit about that. And then again, if you're interested, leave some ideas for other topics or just let me know if this is intriguing to you at all. Because I enjoy sharing my knowledge. I'm not some sort of YouTube guru, but again, I do have experience and I'd like to share what I've learned. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.